You are listening to Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to a new episode of Digging In Podcast with Rooted Wealth Advisors. As always, I'm your host, John Savarino, and today we have a super special guest. Her name is Sarah Marion. Sarah, how are we doing this afternoon?
I'm so good. It's great to be with you today. Shooting from Denver with our Denver office, so I'm unfortunately in Zoom, but it'll still be just as good.
Yeah, it is too bad. I wish we could be sitting down in our brand new podcast studio. But as they say,
Yes.
duty calls. So how's life over in Denver the last few days?
It's great. Number one, weather's beautiful, so can't complain about that. I love Colorado, so anytime I get a chance to be here, it makes me happy. But Connor and Vanessa are great. We just had a dinner event last night that went really well, and we've got another one tomorrow. So doing all the good work to bring in the people that we can best serve.
Cool. I love that. I didn't know that you loved Denver so much, so that's a good little nugget that I'll have to remember. But Sarah, as you probably know, you're someone that, at least me personally, Zach a little bit as well, like really wanted to have you on the team. So when it was announced that you were joining us, like I was just super pumped, super excited, and you've exceeded all expectations since you've started with us. But what I want to know is just a little bit more about your story. Go as far back as you want to, or feel comfortable with, and just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I am originally from the Bourbonnais, Kankakee County area, pretty much born and raised, so I'm very familiar with it. I've worked within the community for many years. I started out as a first grade teacher at Mantino Elementary, and then I transitioned into working as the president and CEO and marketing director for the village of Mantino. And so between both of those experiences, I really was able to connect with so many people in our community. But when I was with the chamber and the village, I had the opportunity to plan so many great events for from anything from like a business after hours to our giant Oktoberfest. So I've had that experience, and when the position with Rooted came available as events manager, I'm like, sign me up. That is my space. That's where I work best. That's my zone of genius. So I think it was a perfect match when this came in my direction. And so definitely a lot of new learnings with it being in the financial world. There's a lot of nuance and a lot of different aspects, but it's been so interesting to me that from my experiences of what I've done in the past, they really overlap a lot, and they're really complementary to each other. So I'm just grateful that I was able to bring in not only my zone of genius, my experience, but just my passion for events into this industry with Rooted.
Yeah, your passion. I think that's a good comment. Like your passion definitely translates into what you do. Like even when you're doing the setup for the event, at the event, after the event, like it's very contagious, which I think is fun because it helps bring the energy. But yeah, it's just super cool. Do you mind if I share like how all that played out, just high level?
Hey, sure.
All right. So I think it's just such a fun story because it's just like a small world story, and it actually is a kudos to you with regard to how well connected you are to the community. So for those of you watching, this had to have been like around Christmas time. I think it would be. And my uncle John Stifler, I don't think he minds me sharing this whatsoever. But he loves, like, him and my Aunt Roxanne, they love you, and they love you. So he had always made these comments and dropped these hints of like, hey, if there's ever an opening, this gal, she's got it. And I just knew of you from the community, right? Because you are really connected in there. I'm like, you know what? Like she would be a good fit, but like I'm like, no way she'd want to come work with us. And always dropping those hints. And then around Christmas, he out of the blue sent me an email and he was like, hey, this is her resume. I know there's no openings there, but let's just keep it in the back pocket. And I remember I shot it to Zach and Michael, and I'm like, when that comes, we got to make sure we get her. And I mean, it was months after that before it actually worked out, but was just super excited. And my uncle was super excited. But yeah, it's just funny that he kind of laid the groundwork, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. Yeah, he did. And I've known John and Roxanne since I was in 6th grade, so they knew me as a little kid.
Oh, yes. I know Amy.
Yeah, Amy and I were best friends and we're still friends to this day. In fact, she's a client of Rooted and she was in the parking lot and I got to catch up with her. So again, small world, but I'm ever grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's super cool. They're going to love those name drops. I can guarantee it. So tell me, so as the events manager, tell us kind of more about what your role is, just maybe on a day-to-day, high level. Tell us more.
For sure. So I'm a little over 4 months in the role. I'm still so green, granted, I have the experience, but there's still, like I said, so much to learn. But I'm being taught by the best of the best. JQ is doing a great job onboarding me. But in essence, my role is to provide lead generation at the end of the day, bring in new potential clients that could really benefit from our services. So we do dinner events and we do educational events, and that is on a bi-weekly rotation. John, you're part of those events twice a month, maybe once a month. And so our advisors do a great job of educating the folks that come into the room to just learn what to do next. What do you do when you're ready to retire? Like you've got all this money in your 401k, your pension, all the things. And it's like, shoot, I thought I could just pull that money out, put it in my savings and live happily ever after. And that's not the case. And so I, of all people, I didn't know that either. And so I learned a lot just through working here about, you got to have a plan when it's time to retire and think about those tax incentives. And that's what you guys do best as far as educating people on how to do that and doing it well. So we do those two things. And then we also focus on our clients. And how we do that is we provide client experiences where we treat our clients with just the most amazing experiences that maybe they wouldn't be able to do or just do on their own or want to do on their own. And so we build community in that way. We've got some really great events coming up. We've got a U of I game coming up. We've got a farm to table event coming up in Champaign, which is completely booked with clients and referrals. We ask that clients bring friends or family that, hey, maybe they could benefit from our services. And these events are a great way to meet an advisor to do that. And then in Denver, we've got the Manhunt Steamroller. So I'm busy planning all of these events all simultaneously, all while learning the industry, which I am the kind of person that loves to go and learn all the things. And so I'm just harnessing my energy for all of that. It's been a great time, and just working with this team has been incredible. And everyone's so supportive. Like I'll be bringing out all the supplies for events, and everybody's like running to come help me fill my car up with the event supplies. I'm not used to that coming from the chamber world. It was kind of me, myself, and I. So it is a welcome change.
I love that. No, it's super cool. Because you kind of mentioned two different facets to events. So not only, I mean, number one, sounds like you have a ton of time on your hands.
So
But when it comes to like the educational like dinner workshops, I think, you're there, creating a memorable experience for those folks that attend. We're there to kind of bridge the gap with education, but I think the word experience is true, right? Like whether a particular person or couple ever becomes a client of Rooted Wealth Advisors, our main two goals is creating a memorable experience, with us that evening and making sure they leave with a little bit of value, right? That they learn something.
Mhm.
And I think what's cool about, the client experiences is genuinely ever since, JQ came on board, ever since you came on board, like people want to go to those. I can remember a few years back where it was, there was some people that wanted to go. I don't mean anything bad by that, but it's like people are just they're geared up, they're ready to go, they really want to, and then they leave there saying, "Wow, that was great." And like that's a testament to what you and JQ do. So I just wanted to put that out there that like it's been cool. It's been incredible. So maybe is there as we kind of talk about the team, right? So you had mentioned like it's just nice to be a part of the team. Like maybe it's hard to pinpoint any certain memories over the last few months, but like, what are some things that you just have come to enjoy or love working with your default advisors?
Yes, I'll start out with kind of a situation that I was in that was very mentally challenging. It was devastating, actually, a personal situation that happened to me. And it was within the first couple weeks that I was employed with Rooted. So I didn't really know the team at that point. And this situation happened to me, and I shared it with the team because I didn't know what to do. And it was absolutely incredible the way that everyone surrounded me with their support, their love, their guidance, their time to help me sort through all of these pieces of what happened. And so that to me will always stay with me because I can't imagine working anywhere else going through this where everyone would just gather around and just pull all the resources that they possibly could to help me through the situation. And thinking back, it's just incredible. And I know that's kind of more on the negative side, but the positive is knowing that working with such an amazing group of people is just, you can get through anything, especially, we all have personal things that happen, and a lot of times we kind of tend to keep it close to, the chest and not want to tell anybody. But in the circumstances, I didn't have a choice. And so it was absolutely incredible. So that really sticks out. I mean, Zach is such an amazing, giving person, and he is always thinking about ways to make us as a team come together, have those fun experiences. I mean, we went to a Sox game one of the first few weeks that I was employed as well. And I mean, I was like, man, what a great summer afternoon with the team, eating some good food, just having a good time. So there's already been so many great takeaways for me with this team that I'll never forget.
Wow. No, that's awesome. I think it is amazing, and it comes back through to kind of one of our taglines or our mottos of showing up different. And it's not only showing up different for our clients, but your teammates, your coworkers. So I think that that's amazing. And it's just the beginning, right? Many more to come. So maybe one last thing. We're gonna have to sit down in the studio. I think we can elaborate on all these conversations way further. But
For
before
sure.
we depart, like what are some things outside of what if you have time, what are some things outside of the office that you enjoy doing? What are some things?
Well, I am a big outdoors person. I love hiking. So last time I was here on a Denver trip, I extended the trip and I ended up hiking probably 48 miles while I was here in Denver. I absolutely love it. It brings me so much joy to be out in nature and hiking and doing those types of things. I did start a nonprofit group with a friend of mine called the AV Social. It's a group for women to socialize just without alcohol, because sometimes it's hard to find those socialization type events without it. We're kind of tapering back on it just because our lives are very busy, but it's one thing that I've done in my life that I'm very proud of. And I still keep the friendships to this day with those women. But yeah, I mean, hiking is the top of my list.
I'm gonna remember that. There's actually a lot of cool trails that I had no idea hiking wise in Central Illinois too. But I'll remember that. That's cool. 48 miles though. That's good for you. I love that. And definitely love the AF social. I think that's just a great idea and a great way to bring, women together that way. So, Sarah, I think that's going to be it for today. As I said, we will definitely have another conversation in the studio. If you want to learn more about what we do at Rooted Wealth Advisors, we would love for you to give us a call. The number is going to be 866-766-8332. We'll send you a free copy of our 5 Worlds in Retirement that, once again, just gives you a little bit more clarity of what we do, how we can help. Sarah, I loved having you on this episode, and we will chat soon.
This was Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.